Japan gets heat that would break most people. 40 degrees, 90% humidity, the kind of thick, sticky air where your fan just pushes hot soup around the room, and even sitting still makes you sweat. Sound familiar? It should, because that's monsoon season right here. And yet, for over 400 years, Japanese homes stayed livable through exactly this weather, with no AC, no electricity, and almost no money. Today I'm going to walk you through one full day inside a traditional Japanese home, hour by hour, and show you exactly what they do, when they do it, because the timing is the real secret nobody tells you. And at the end, I'll test the most famous Japanese trick with my own thermometer, on camera, so you see the real number, not an internet claim. Stay with me, the last trick works even when humidity is at its worst. Let's start at 5:30 in the morning. Before the sun gets serious, a traditional Japanese household does one simple thing. They open the house. Not one window opposite sides of the house. This is called cross-ventilation, and Japanese homes were literally designed around it, with rooms separated by sliding paper doors instead of solid walls, so air can travel in one side and out the other. Here's why the timing matters. Early morning is the only time the outside air is cooler than the inside air. Your walls and floor absorbed heat all day yesterday, and they've been releasing it into your rooms all night. So for these 2 or 3 golden hours, you flush that stored heat out. Open windows or doors on 2 opposite sides of your home, and if you have a fan, don't point it at yourself, put it in one window blowing outward. It will pull cool morning air through the entire house behind it. 10 minutes of this moves more heat out of your home than an hour of fanning your face. Now it's around 9 in the morning, and the sun is climbing. This is when the Japanese do something that looks backwards. They close up. But here's the part everyone gets wrong. They don't block the sun from inside with curtains. They block it outside the window before the sunlight ever touches the glass. This is the sudare, a rolled bamboo, or reed blind, that hangs on the outside of the window, and the physics is simple. Once sunlight passes through your glass, the heat is already inside your room, and an inside curtain just becomes a hot radiator hanging on your wall. But a screen hanging outside stops that energy before it enters, and the breeze carries the heat away. These screens cut the solar heat coming through a window dramatically. The difference between a shaded and unshaded window in afternoon sun is something you can feel with your bare hand. You don't need bamboo from Japan. A chick blind, a reed mat, an old bed sheet, even a cardboard sheet fixed outside the window on the sunny side does the same job. Outside, not inside. That one word is the whole trick. By midday, the traditional home deploys its most beautiful weapon, the green curtain. Japanese families grow climbing vines, bitter gourd, morning glory, cucumber up a net, covering their sunniest wall or window. And this beats any man-made screen, because a plant does 2 jobs at once. It blocks sunlight, and it releases water vapor through its leaves, which absorbs heat as it evaporates. The leaf surface stays cool in full sun, while a metal sheet or bare wall right next to it gets too hot to touch. In India, bitter gourd Karela grows fast, loves the heat, and gives you vegetables as a bonus. Plant it before summer, and by peak heat, you have a living air conditioner on your wall that costs you a packet of seeds. Around 4 in the afternoon comes the most famous ritual of all, uchimizu. Sprinkling water on the ground outside the house, the entrance, the courtyard, the street in front. When water evaporates, it pulls heat out of the surface it's sitting on. That's real physics, the same reason sweat cools your skin. But here is where I have to be honest with you, because this channel shows real results. Evaporative cooling gets weaker as humidity rises. In bone-dry heat, uchimizu is powerful. At 90% humidity, the air is already nearly full of moisture, so evaporation slows down and the effect shrinks. The Japanese know this, which is exactly why they never do uchimizu at noon. They do it in the early morning and again in the late afternoon or evening, when the sun is low, the surfaces are scorching hot, and the humidity dips slightly. Sprinkle water on hot concrete or stone in the shade at 5 in the evening, and the surface temperature drops fast. I'll show you the exact number on my thermometer in a moment. Sprinkle it on the same spot at 1 in the afternoon in full sun and high humidity, and you're mostly just making steam. Same trick, wrong time, opposite result. Timing is everything. As evening comes, the Japanese home changes its clothes. This is called shitsurai, swapping the furnishings by season. Out go thick cushions and heavy fabric. In come woven bamboo or rattan mats, thin cotton, and open weave seating. It sounds small, but think about where your body actually feels heat, the surfaces touching your skin. A woven mat lets air flow underneath you and doesn't trap your body heat the way foam and thick cotton do. If you've ever slept on a woven charpai on a hot night and wondered why it feels cooler than a mattress, that's the exact same principle, and our grandparents knew it too. And hanging near the open window, you'll almost always find a furin, a small glass or metal wind chime. It doesn't lower the temperature even 1 degree, and the Japanese know that. But the sound only plays when a breeze is moving, and researchers have found that hearing it genuinely makes people feel cooler. The Japanese understood something modern science confirmed centuries later. Comfort isn't only temperature, it's also what your brain believes. And now, the honest test. I set up the uchimizu experiment the Japanese way. Shaded concrete, early evening, water at normal tap temperature. Before sprinkling, my infrared thermometer reads the surface, watch the screen, and after sprinkling, we wait 5 minutes and measure again. The number you're seeing is the real drop I measured right here, in our humidity, not Japan's. It won't turn your street into a refrigerator. But cool the hot surfaces around your home in the evening, and your house stops baking from below all night. Combine that with the morning flush, outside shading through the day, and a green curtain on your sun-facing wall, and you've stacked 400 years of Japanese wisdom on top of each other, and every layer costs almost nothing.